It's going to help you see the truth of who you are and who the people around you are. Hi Gemini, happy birthday. I probably already wish you happy birthday in the Gemini season reading, but happy birthday. We appreciate you. I know you get hated on a lot. You and Scorpios have that in common, but you are very memorable, and if you hate a Gemini, that means that you loved them at one point. And we need your fun, dynamic selves in our world to teach us how to survive in chaos. So happy birthday. I hope that whatever you do, it is sublimely you. We have entered Gemini season on May 20th, and these are your tarot scopes for June. I am shifting the tarot scope readings from seasonal to monthly, but I will still be doing the astrology season collective reading for everybody. Just is an easier structure, and I'm trying to beat those algorithms. And I think it just will be a better flow for everybody. So let me know how that's working for you. Make sure you go watch the last round of tarot scopes, which were for Taurus season and May, basically. And you can always watch your tarot scopes for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if I hadn't said it, thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's so good to see you. Let's get into it. We're using the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sterl. Goes. And then we will be pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle card by Dr. Alberto Villoldo and Colette Baron-Reid. Love that deck. Love these decks. I love decks. Do you love decks? It's okay if you don't. I also don't love decks too. But now we're talking about something else. Anyway, ooh, things are coming out already. That was really fast. So let's see what June is bringing to you. Usually the first card is kind of like the general energy message. Two came out together, so we'll read them kind of one at a time, and then we'll see what it means, what they mean together. Three of Cups, my dear Gemini, which is a great card for you because we are in your season. We are in your season until Cancer season, which begins on the 21st of June. And so most of June is Gemini season. And it is also Pride Month, which is why I have my rainbow hair for all of us queers out there. And so it's funny because the Three of Cups is really like the party card. You can't even see it. They're having such a good time. It's blurred. Everything's blurred. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be intoxicated to party. But we do know that that is what is associated with it in our culture. The Three of Cups are really just like, friend time, getting together and having fun for the sake of having fun. And that's a great thing to partake in during Gemini season. And it's your birthday, so you should definitely go be having fun just to have fun. I see you, all my lovely Geminis, and I love when you post about how you celebrate yourself, and I'm glad you all are having some fun. So the interesting thing is that it came up with the Five of Pentacles. Oh, that one focused real fast. The Five of Pentacles is a kind of a very opposite feeling, which works for you, Gemini. It's almost like we got a card for each of your two sides. And don't give me that, like, I don't have another side. Yes, you do. And I even know some Geminis who have other names for their other side. So if you are a Gemini who has a different name for their other side, let me know what your other name is. My brother was a Gemini and his name was Kai. And so we called his other side Ike. And Ike was a dick. And even my brother would be like, yeah, I don't like Ike either. Like, yeah, Can you do something about him? No, you can't. Because that side is just as prevalent as your fun, loving, sunshine side. That is why you are represented by the twins. You are so much more connected. And I think the more you embrace both those sides, the more you will feel balanced and behave more well-rounded. It's like more well-rounded rather than having some sort of internal struggle. Because I feel like because you get such a bad reputation, you're kind of systemically, socially conditioned to oppress this side of you, because everybody around you is like, hey, it's great when you're like this, but when you're like this, fuck you. You know? So you're just like, well, I guess I'll just hide that and suppress it. And it's just so counterproductive or counterintuitive for you guys. So I feel like, yes, great, positivity, fun, you're celebrating your birthday. However, if things aren't going the way you want them to, and holy crap, I'm recording this on June 3rd, and I think I waited a little bit because Mercury went direct today. Yes, we were in the shadow, but I just felt like I couldn't move forward with work and even some of my like some magic stuff that I've been kind of like sitting on to do. So I started getting that rolling today because we were really getting challenged the last couple weeks with Mercury retrograde in Gemini and Taurus, and now we'll be in the post shadow, so there's going to be kind of this like cleaning up feeling, or like it's like everything was kind of a mess, so I have to clean it up. Like we got a little we weren't paying attention to our budget, and it kind of kicked us in the butt, and so I've had an out like last couple weeks, even before we hit the shadow, I've been like having to get back on top of that and making sure that things are good. So there might be some stuff going on with that. So it's like, yes, go have some fun, especially for your birthday, but don't destroy your life in the process. Don't, you know, spend so much money that you can't pay your rent. Don't party so hard and get so intoxicated that you are just like so sick and you can't even remember what you did. Water in between beverages, okay? You know, don't mix so much alcohol. Everything in moderation, even in moderation sometimes. So just, it's about having a better gauge of your line. And I think that because of you always trying to suppress this one part and be only this one part for everybody else, it blurs your line. You have a hard time finding the line or seeing the line when you get to it, and then it's like, oh, here it is. It's like, that might be it. And then I feel like a lot of time you see the line and then you still like cross the line. So like, and then I'm gonna take a big step over it, and that, you know, it just made me think of the trending sound bite from Austin Powers of Dr. Evil being like, and the best part is no one can stop me. Nobody can stop me from doing this thing that I want to do. And it's true. And that's what makes you so much of a force to be reckoned with, Gemini. There's a reputation about you because you have a certain level of power, and the more that you recognize that and harness that for yourself, the more your possibilities of success and getting what you want in this world just opens up. Okay, so with the Five of Pentacles, again, it's like, don't put yourself into ruin. This is the scarcity mindset. It's kind of poverty. It can also be feeling like you're on the outside of something. So it could feel like right now that the results of a lot of stuff recently has made you feel like on the fringes, on the outside of society, or like maybe even abandoned or pushed aside by people who you thought were your people. And so, but the other feeling that came with that is this feeling of like a new chapter, a new start. Recognizing that if if for some reason too, it's almost like some Geminis are going to really have this 3 of Cup feeling this season for your guys' season in the month. And some Geminis are going to be having an opposite experience, and it's going to feel like, fuck, I'm losing everything. What do I do? And like, you're going to feel like you want to grasp onto stuff, and you feel like you have no other choice, but you're going to have to like breathe. Let go of a certain level of control and expectation. The more you trust that what's being moved out of your life right now is not supposed to be in your life anymore, the easier it will be for you to move forward and find what is meant to be in your life. This is a theme that has been coming up a lot this year, is that our society has taught us when we lose stuff that's negative, it's bad. It means that you're, you know, it can, this is what society at large has taught us, that it's connected to your value. And if you're losing friends or things in your life, it must mean you're not a good person, or it must mean that you aren't worthy of those things. That's not how it works in like a universal spiritual level. The reason why we lose stuff is so that we have room for things that are meant to be with us. The reason why we lose stuff is because most things in life are meant to be temporary. They're meant to only come into our life for a reason or a season. And we need to, that's like, that's very much a paradigm shift, I feel like has been coming up, is like, it's okay to lose stuff. It's okay to fail. It's okay to not get everything that you're going out for. Because a lot of the time, just maybe the process of doing it has taught you something. And the reason you didn't get it was because you're meant to get something else. But you wouldn't get this thing if you hadn't gone through this thing first. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all these little things are all connected. And so the more that you trust that this is happening for a reason, and please don't mistake me, I'm not talking about like trauma and abuse. That's a different subject. I'm talking about when it just feels like you can't catch a break, and it's like one little thing after the other. You know, you got demoted at your job, or it took forever to find a new place to live. You lost friends who you thought were your friends. You broke up with somebody. It's funny because I do feel like a lot of Geminis I know are either like, wow, I've lost everything and I have to start over, or they're very established right now and are able to go like celebrate and just live their lives and do their thing. You are right where you're supposed to be either way. And those who are in this place of feeling like you are in transition or experience loss and are trying to find the gains, just know that these came up together to show you that they're always possible, and they're always both working for you. That on the other side of all this will be more of like a reward. I don't want to say reward, but that's the best kind of visualization to frame it. I heard, how is this gonna help you? 8 of Swords. How is this gonna help you? The first thing I heard was it's gonna help you see the truth. It's gonna help you see the truth of who you are and who the people around you are. Either way, there's affirming things going on. And either way, they need to be embraced fully by you. And you need to be fully present. I know that this card doesn't look like that's what that means. But every time this card comes up for me, there's a certain delusion here that this is not actually your reality. That you're choosing to, I don't like bind yourself or limit yourself, but put your blinders up when there's resources right around you, when there are answers just on the other side, but you have to take the blinders down. These things are happening to show you one way or the other. This is for you, this isn't for you. And when you find out what isn't for you, thank you, next. Thank you for showing me that that wasn't for me. I'm ready for you to show me what is. And I feel like if we remembered this this mindset when looking for jobs, houses, partners, when dating, we would be able to enjoy the process and be present in the process so much more if there was just a little bit more trust and faith. Okay? You have more resources, I think, too, than you realize. I feel like too, there's like, you're working against these kind of Gemini stereotypes right now. And part of that is really just reclaiming your power and just taking responsibility for your own life. It's like you need to move the boundary out also. It's like some of these boundaries that you've created have almost gotten like too closed in, have gotten you a little bit too blocked off. And it's not about breaking the boundary down. It's almost like I saw the wall move away from you. And that's what these things are showing you. What are you going to allow inside this boundary? And what really needs to stay on the outside of it? But you have to like loosen it, open it up just a little bit, just to be able to see the answers. Like, it just feels like your eyes are closed and there's this wall like right here, and you're just like, this is good. I'm good, protected, no problem. And it's not. It's stifling you. It's blocking your progression. So open that up a little bit, okay? There's just a lot of like trust that things might seem kind of crazy, but there's a lot of truth hiding in there. And I think that you can see it. It's just that there might be people around you who are being like, are you sure? Are you sure that's what it is? Are you sure that's what you think? Are you sure that's what they're doing? And you're like, yeah, I'm sure. Because you can read people. And you can read people. You can read them and you can read them. You know what I mean? Okay. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles, that is amazing. So what the root of all this, like this is what I said, the reward is on the other side. Like literally here is your reward. And why it's like, why is it not, it's only picking up some, it's like blurry because it's still in the distance. You just have to trust that you're gonna get there, and there's no timeline. You will just know that you're there when you're there. Come on. There it goes. So abundance, wealth, everything that you need provided for, not just for you, but for generations. Yeah, abundance. You're creating it. Okay. Cool. Let's get an oracle card or 2 or 3. We will see what they say, how they feel. Oh, we did have your new moon on the 30th, and so there's also a reading for that you can go watch for the collective. Just gonna get one today. We'll see. Ooh, here you go. Straddling worlds, wandering between realms. That's perfect for you. Oh my gosh, that is your life. Straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Number 52. Oh, I meant to turn my little fan off. So if you hear some white noise, I apologize. I live in an old house. We ain't got no AC. Okay. Straddling worlds. Being comfortable in two states. Wandering between realms. Reinvention. When the straddling worlds card shows up, it's an invitation to get used to living with one foot in your old world and one foot in the new. There is no going back to the way things once were, and what will be is not yet fully here. You must find the delicate balance that can bring you delight as you relish the past and all your memories, along with awe as you glimpse the astonishing and exciting future. Hey! Do not wait for applause. Move on quietly, humbly, invisible to others. This card brings an invitation to begin not only a new chapter, but a new book in your life. Do not break the news to anyone. Let people be as surprised as you are as you reinvent yourself. Make sure you are not just a slightly improved and more polished version of a dated and obsolete you. Birth yourself into someone original. Do not feel like you have to explain yourself or be understood by anyone. Become a mystery even to yourself. Gaze into the mirror one morning and be pleasantly surprised. See, that's what I was saying, when you won't know you're there till you're there. Straddling worlds invites you to become a true wizard. Not one who performs magic tricks, but one who has mastered the dance between the visible and the invisible worlds, between the realms of form and formlessness. You are the birther of new ideas, of original and sustainable ways of being in the world. And you are an original. You are original and unique. Yes, there are some core traits within most Geminis, but I don't think I've ever met a Gemini who looked like any other Gemini. I mean, you could say that for a lot of people, but there are certain physical traits that come along with a lot of signs, and I feel like I have the hardest time like calling out people as Geminis, because you guys have a kind of a chameleonness about you too. You're able to be very adaptable and are able to, you know, adapt to your situation or the people you're around, and it's okay. It's just about harnessing these powers so that you're using them for good and not for evil, okay? And like I said, you're so close to both sides of you, so you do have the ability to be closer and be more bridged between the visible and the invisible world, all right? My brother was a Gemini, and him and I had quite a few ghost situations together, and that is a story for another time. But you have the magic. It's about owning it, okay? Cool. I have my highest hopes for you, Gemini. I really do. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Please be sure to like and subscribe, share with a friend. I also am now on Patreon. You can support Meryl's Mystic for just $2 a month right now, and I am working on getting out extra content for that, and all those links are below. And I will see you for July. Have a good June and rest of your season, Gemini. Bye.